All right, here I want to cover how we are always consuming, we're always eating, okay? And the whole thing is that even talking to people, all right, you're consuming people as you're meeting them and talking to them. You're trying them out every time you do it. Like you're trying different people, you're trying different foods. So this is what I'm talking about when people are like mindless eaters sometimes. I've seen even just people who like to go for, I mean, I see this in the gym where there's some people who are just to themselves and then just people who are just very, like they just want to talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we would look at this person as like, oh, that guy's so friendly. That guy, you know, he talks to everybody. He's such a friendly guy. You know, we look at that always as a good thing, but is it necessarily always a good thing? See, in actuality, when I'm working out, I don't even like to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? And the dude starts talking to me, and he doesn't even know how to read like good body language. There's times where, you know, I pull this out of my ear, and I'm looking at him. I haven't let this go out of my ear. I got it right here, which means I'm ready to put it back in. But he's still there, and he wants to have like an hour conversation with me. And I look at him, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's cool. And then I'm trying to put it back in my ear, and he's still yapping. Right? And what is that doing? It's almost like he's forcefully eating you. So this is where I just do this. I'm like, yo, I gotta get a pump, man. I don't want to lose my pump. I'll talk to you later, bro. And I put the plug right back in my ear. See, I don't have to subject myself to sitting there listening to somebody at the moment I don't want to listen to them, right? Because then I'm giving my energy away and I feel drained after that. If I want to speak to somebody, and first of all, you got to be a good judge of character and also learn how to read body language. Like you can see when people are like ready to get up, where their feet are under the chair and they're leaned forward, or you can tell when somebody is very relaxed, you know what I'm saying? They're comfortable, they're ready to, you know, give you their time. You know, their legs may be kicked out forward a little bit more. Like body language is everything, man. So people are that's why I mentioned in the previous video, they're like zombies. All right? And in Spanish, we have this saying. After I meet somebody and I like them, we say, oh, esa persona me cayó bien. Which means they went down on me very good. Like they sat well with me. This is exactly in the English language what we use after we eat. That food didn't sit well with me. That food sat well with me. See, but we only say in English what that person said didn't sit well with me. You rarely hear, oh, that person didn't sit well with me, right? You'll only categorize the person by what came out of their mouth, right? Which is what it is. The person is basically what they're speaking about. That's what they're all about. But in Spanish, we say, no me cayó bien, like that person didn't sit well with me. And then we say, no me gustó lo que dijo, which means I didn't like what he said. O no me cayó bien lo que me dijo. What he said didn't sit well with me. But you're consuming these things. You didn't process it, or you didn't like the way it tasted, or it gave you indigestion. It gave you an emotion. Okay? Some people are emotional eaters. If they're depressed, stressed, whatever it may be, angry, anxious, they may be emotional eaters, and they mask these things with food. So food is literally a drug as well. Some people need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody, right? When you need to talk to somebody when you're depressed, right? Because you feel like eating somebody. All these are supposed to be sacred acts, right? There's a lot of power in silence. That's why they say even silence has a lot of power. But I'm gonna make another video as far as like these human emotions and human diseases and whatnot. But there's a lot of power in silence, which is why I also mentioned that there's a lot of power in sobriety when it comes down to, you know, eliminating all forms of drugs, no matter what kind of drug you want to categorize it as. Because I look at all forms of drugs that they're just you're thinking you're escaping the matrix. You're not escaping anything. Whatever you're getting out of nature is part of the same fucking matrix you think you're trying to get out of. It'll show you in between the cracks of what's going on, but it's no different than a caged animal just getting closer to the bars and just seeing further into the atmosphere. And that's it. Can you truly get out of that space, from that position, I mean, you're still coming right back in here to experience the reality. What are you coming back as? With more information, evolved in the forms where you're a little bit more sedated in the way you thought you had these problems like depression, anxiety, and whatnot? Because certain pharmaceuticals could do the same thing. They mask the issue. But if you're like if you have depression, there's antidepressant medications. What is it doing? Just sedating the issue. Foods have medicinal properties to just make you a harmonized human, though. Okay? When you have, for example, anything you're putting into your mouth should be a sacred act to begin with. Your mouth is a vagina. I mean, it does exactly what a vagina does. When a vagina is turned on, it gets wet. When you're hungry, your mouth gets wet. A vagina has pussy lips. Your mouth has lips. Your mouth consumes things. A vagina consumes things too. It consumes a penis. It consumes another person. Downloads them into their system. The same way when you eat food, you downloading that into your system. There's the little punchy ball in the back of your throat, all right? Looks like a clitoris. So everything about your mouth is designed to look like a vagina. Okay? Look in the movie. The movie, they tell you American Pie, right? The guy has sex with a fucking pie. And what do people tell you when you yapping too much out of your mouth? Shut your pie hole. Right? When you are young, they tell you not to have sex until you get married. Right? Don't have sex until you get married. Which means that your vagina should not eat anything until you're married. But when you come into this existence, right? What's the first thing they put into your mouth? That should be a sacred act in and of itself. What the baby eats. What is it? Right out the fucking nipple. Right? Breast milk. Breast milk goes right into the vagina of the mouth. And when a guy has sex with a girl, technically, they're married. They should have a baby, right? There's no such thing as condoms at this point. So she's consuming the man's milk. So the man milks through his penis and women milk through their titties. A man's titties have no functions though. So you see these things, right? But why when you come into this existence, you're sucking on the nipple? Because you're coming, see, when a girl gets married, she's allowed to have sex now, right? Under, Christian laws. It's sacred. But a baby, what's his marriage? When he leaves the mom's womb and comes into the world, he's coming into maritime admiralty law, which is a marriage. Now you have a relationship to life. Humanity is feminine, and you are having an interaction with mankind, which your mom is a kind of man either way, even though she's a woman. All right? Because everything here is determined by sex. Female, male. Chemistry. So you suck on that nipple, and then now you're married. That sacred act of you consuming that milk into your vagina, the mouth, is a sacred act. But no, you get fed formulas and formulas with ingredients you can fucking make jet fuel out of, right? So just go figure as to like the mind and how these things are all correlated, the education system, because I'll make videos further going into that shit. But what you consume, even if you've already broke your virginity, okay, it should be done at least consciously, where you transmute the energy of what you put into your body. You don't just go sleep around with people, right? So you don't just go eat anything mindlessly. So the key now is to, and this is the thing though, when you have sex with somebody, if the person's full of fucking baggages and they've got a lot of emotions, a lot of fucking imbalances, it's like eating a very complex piece of chemistry into your body. you're downloading all that into your system. It's kind of like when you eat a piece of meat. You can't destroy energy. You can only transfer and transmute energy, right? So it would be very wise, at least, for you to pray over your food, this whole concept of prayer. So when you're eating a person, right, do you know yourself? Because you're mainly attracted into your life yourself. So that other person could be a very close reflection or a mirror of yourself. And that's why they say you have to work on yourself before you get into another relationship. Because if you've had toxic relationship before and you don't change yourself, you'll just attract another person in another body, and then you'll be a victim of, like, I don't know why I always get hit. I have the bad luck with guys. I always meet the bad people, or the guy now is a victim coming out saying there's no good women in the world. Oh, women are this, women are that. I mean, mankind's full of fucking garbage. Mankind is literally is creating the woman to be that way. You're the masculine energy having guidance over the feminine energy. And if the woman is chaotic in this planet, it's your fault, men. This world is full of good women. You're just not in the frequency to see the good women. You're in the frequency to see the fucked up shit about bad women. And you're right, there is fucked up shit about bad women, because it's what you are. You see, what you see is very real. It's very true to you. Your mind will make it real. So the more you say women are this, women are that, the more you will manifest that into your life, because your mind will make it real. It's funny how I mentioned in the last video that you have the latest technology to do all things. You have the ability to do all things, travel worlds, bend reality. And since everybody outside of you is you, you have the ability to acquire even any skill. They even showed you this in the movie, The Matrix. Your Neo goes, I know Kung Fu. Meanwhile, did he really know Kung Fu before? No, but he knows Kung Fu. Everything he needed at that moment as a tool, he had it. You get what I'm saying? Like if you like it, we'll talk soon.